So all of those refutation videos he made were fake. So what? He was trying to just use it to get famous or something. Like, and that's just fake, isn't it? The people you make takfir on, the people you call Telefis and Salafis and Hajuris, and then he's chilling with them, talking with them and taking pictures with them. I don't get it. What was it like a plan to make himself look less extreme to the authorities or something?
No. It's not like that at all. It's nothing about trying to get famous or feds or anything like that. This issue about him taking the picture and what have you is basically his way of getting out of him getting cornered. He's gone there to apparently deal with them, but he doesn't know how to deal with them. So what do you do when someone's bullying you and you can't fight back in it? You start being a clown, isn't it? You start dancing. And those fake videos, the one in the mosque and the one in the car, was just a way to show that no one can step to him and he's knowledgeable and he can refute. Obviously for us it was a bunch of fun. You know, we're just bored on our journey all the way to Manchester that day. But obviously he used them and put them up on his YouTube. And, you know, like I said at the time, you know, for a year I didn't really give a damn what this guy done. Whether he jokes, whether he makes takfir, he wasn't my problem. He was Abu Warad's problem. And I wasn't really working with those guys for a number of years. So that's calm. Yeah, I'm talking about the video in the car in the mosque. They were fake. They were just done just for fun. They were just for fun, but he used them to make a name for himself. But I never really said anything about it to him. You know, I never really said take them down or it's not right. Because like I said, I didn't have no issue with what he was doing. It didn't affect me. You know, in terms of his dawah and what he was doing, it's like, you know, mind your own business, innit? Basically, bottom line is, look, the guy is not sincere. Everything is fully driven by his ego and riyah. Now, if he starts getting a little bit of stick from the Hazmis about this thing last night that he done with you, trust me, he's going to be on to you to take that down. But don't take it down, because I need that video first.
I've put the Abu Izzuddin video back on public now as well. Like, he's going to be at me. He's literally watching my channel to see what I do. So he'll probably message me again. And tonight, tonight or the next live stream that we do, he would probably be like, I'm coming on, but take it down, please, take it down. This is what he's probably going to do.
Yeah, just stay on to him and basically say to him that, look, all right, you know, obviously you did get good feedback, innit? From the guys of the last thing, and now obviously they want to see a date for this debate, and obviously the next guy, he's calm, he's waiting, you know what I mean? I'm not paying for it this time though, man. It cost me a lot of money to do that thing last time. Someone else can pay for it, so I want to do this thing with him. It's going to be live.
Inshallah, I'll try push for that, yeah, but it's definitely going to be on my back. I'll just say all you lot told me to keep it up, yeah, and now I'm stuck in the middle like here, innit, yeah? So, and there's more of you guys than him, so I'll just use that excuse, yeah, and if I take it down, all you lot are going to get annoyed. I'll just say that, bro.
Even if, yeah, like, look, obviously he's still going to stick with the same thing. I'm not on this debating thing. Say, all right, look, at least get on camera with the guy and basically put all your posts that you have and ask him to address them to your face to try and resolve the issue. But obviously then I'll turn it into something else, isn't it? Then I'll go into the full shabam debate with him to discuss everything else that we need to. Otherwise it's getting embarrassing for him, you know, and he knows that as well. He's put another post up today. Now he's trying to say I'm a fed. What's he going to do tomorrow? Like, how long is he going to carry on? Like, for another month? I can't see this going on for too long. It's because I'm not reacting, I'm not saying nothing, I'm just silent, and he's just sitting there and he's getting wound up by it. That why isn't this guy saying nothing? What's going to be on the refutation? It's stressful for him, and you know, poor guy, Bachara.
Now basically says you lot want to keep it all in the open, everything that's happened, and you want a public debate, and this is why you want to keep it up.
Look, that audio you got there of Abu Izzuddin, yeah? Well, I don't see no legal issue because he hasn't mentioned the 4-letter word. All he said was snitch and basically, you know, backstreet videos or something like that, and about Anjem sending people abroad. There's no issue there. There's no issue there legally. If it's a case of, why Anjem's name is in there, whatever, man, people like the media, they say much worse. They say the guy's a recruiter and, you know, he inspired this and that. Come on, man, there's no real issue. I think all it is he just doesn't want his name being dragged out in the public, which I totally understand, because even I don't want that, to be honest. But obviously, you know, my name got dragged into this whole dawah thing last night on all that stuff. Oh, listen, you need to make one clarification though, man, on your next stream. I never said I was going to go speaker's corner. All I said was that if I go down there, you know what I mean, it would you know, I could wrap up these guys, you know, and debate them and finish them if I wanted to, basically, yeah? But I got no intention of going down there, you know. I don't believe it's allowed for any Muslim to stand in a place like that. I believe it's haram, where they insult Rasulullah. The other mistake you made was that you said that I went and debated with Abdurrahman Hassan, or I was going to deal with him. No, it wasn't like that. It was Abu Bara that Abu Halima pushed to get him to have the debate with him. And I just threw my name in there. I said, I'm willing to help you out and get involved with Dawah Man will also do it as well. So it'll be like 2 on 2. But then obviously Abu Bara said, no, it's fine. Like, we'll leave you out of it. Which is probably good, to be honest, you know, because you know my Arabic is crap, innit? So he would have wiped the floor with me on my Arabic. But I think I actually said this. This is probably why you misunderstood me. I said about like going down speaker's corner pretending to be your madkhali, isn't it? That's a dream though, isn't it? Imagine that, like, if I was a Talafi, I would get along with Shamsi so well. I would go down there and I would push Shamsi, come, let's go take on Ali Dawah, let's deal with Adnan Rashid, all these guys. And that would be so much fun. Because me and Shamsi, we're a lot like each other. Maybe you don't see that, but I think I've got a lot in common with Shamsi. You know what I mean? I like this guy. He's like a little lion, man. I like him. Yeah, he only mentioned about my iMac and Apple products because he's stingy. Because I remember we were pushing this guy to buy us some Chinese duck, and he didn't want to buy a duck. And I said, no, you have to do it as a dawah, innit? Because you just spent 300k on a house, so you must have money to take us out for a meal. And he started pulling out hadith about 1/3 for air. Man's being tight. He doesn't want to feed us no food. You almost, man. You're living it up, man. You got Polish builders working for you, doing up your garden and putting new floorboards in for you. You can buy a man a duck. Mash work. Yeah, alhamdulillah, it's all good. At the end of the day, I just take, like I said, I took a back step from everything. But I enjoy all this stuff. I watch all of these guys anyway. And just, they're self-imploding, isn't it? They're just self-destructing. Ali Dawah's got a broken heart. Poor guy, man. He's got a broken heart. Shamsi called him an Ikhwani. You're lucky that's all he calls you. Shamsi hasn't really dealt with him properly yet. I'm waiting for Shamsi to make the comeback, man. Shamsi's going to come back and finish and wreck this guy and pull out all of his scholars and refute all of them. He's gonna make Imran ibn Mansour look amateur, man. He's amateur anyway. Imagine, like, for example, you know, there was hummus missing from this guy's food. How he'd react with his wife. Talak. Ikwa. He's a wild goose, man.
No, I made that part clear. I was basically explaining how the Abdurrahman Hassan debate came around. And from what I remember you saying, Abu Halima went, he got his ass handed to him by them man. Then he was calling you guys to come, but instead of you going, you said for Abu Bara to go. I think I made that pretty clear.
No, it wasn't like that. I didn't have any involvement in the aftermath of him getting done over. He said to himself, to Abdurrahman Hassan, that, look, why don't I bring my Ustad tomorrow and you debate him then? So basically, you know, to make up for this cock-up, basically, he got Abu Bara involved. Abu Bara was like, okay, cool, calm, you know, I'll go anywhere. He wasn't even feeling well. But I want to arrange anyway, one day, if Abu Bara is ever allowed, yeah, for them to have a rematch. Because I loved Abdurrahman Hassan, the way his legs were shaking. I thought this guy was going to urinate himself, you know that? I kept looking underneath his thobe.
Do you think after all of this restrictions is lifted off of Anjem Chowdhury and Abu Bara and stuff like that, they're going to make a comeback, bro? Or is that whole era over? Like, what about Abu Izzuddin? No more protests, no more shouting at Taghut. Is that whole era over? Because I've got a feeling man's are just going to move on now, man. Like, it's sad, but you know, it is what it is, akhi.